Good morning, guys. I am going to try and show you how to do some of these Excel exercises by showing you on these screencasts. I'm going to do it first in Google Sheets because that seems to be the way where you guys are doing most of your work. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I have to upload my Excel file into Google Sheets. So I'm going to have my drive open here. I'm going to come over to New, File Upload, and find my file. As you can see on the bottom here, it's uploading that Excel file and turning it into a Google Sheet file. And I'm just going to open it. Okay, so now I have my raw data. Okay, my Hort University raw data, and I'm going to take you through how to format this in Google Sheets. There are a couple discrepancies, and I apologize. I'm going to show you them as I go along here. So the first thing is that we have to rename our file, and in the upper left corner up here, we're just going to rename it. Let's see, College Majors underscore your last name, and then, the period that you're in, okay? Next thing we're going to do is we're going to format our heading. We have Hort University here, and we're going to center and merge that heading over our column totals. So I'm going to take and select this heading and drag it all the way over to column F, and I'm going to come over to the merge and center. And then I'm going to take and just center it. Okay. In addition to that, I'm going to pop up my font size, it looks like, to 18. Change my font style. I don't really care what it is as long as it's legible. Change my font color. Let's do an orange. And as you can see, it's hard to see what this is. So what you can do is come over to the rows between 1 and 2 where that double-headed arrow is, and just pull down here. Keep pulling down until you can see the entire row. Okay. Next, my column headings, my 2012. Actually, yours is going to say, I think I started yours as 2015, 2016, 2017, and 2018. Okay. All right. So we're going to highlight these, and we're going to increase our font size to, I believe, 12. Make them bold. Color fill, very basic stuff. I'm going to color fill that yellow. Column headings, center the text. Okay, it's already centered. Okay, all right, good. Those look nice. And then I'm going to format these. Now this is where it gets a little goofy. I know I said to pop this to 40, resize the column to 40 point. What I'm going to do here, because it's a little bit different in Google Sheets, is I'm going to right click and then come down to resize column, and I'm just going to say fit to data and hit OK. That gives it a gigantic column width, but that's okay. Then we're going to highlight these, and we're going to put this to 16. And I know 16 isn't an option here, but I'm just going to type in 16. Okay. Wrap text, increase font size, bold them. Okay. And then once again, I know that you can barely see these. That's where my directions get a little goofy. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select all the rows here. Oops, I don't want to move the rows. It's a little tricky. You're going to select them by just click and drag all of them. With my little hand on here, I'm going to right click, and I'm going to go to resize rows 3 through 10, and I'm going to pop that to, let me see if I pop it to 22, just out of curiosity. Yeah, 22 works. Okay, and if it doesn't, you can pull these down a little bit too. Okay, so here we have like a nicer looking spreadsheet. And now we're going to sort them. And what we want to do is sort them by alphabetically. So we want to sort these alphabetically, but we want to keep this data with it. So I'm going to select row A2 and go all the way over to F2 and down, selecting all my data. I'm going to come up to data, sort range. I'm going to click on data has a header row, and then I'm going to click sort. Okay, that kept all this information with it. Arts is still $950 for 2015, education $1,500, but it's sorted it alphabetically. Okay. All right, and now I'm going to add a row. All right, and actually I don't actually have to add the row, but in row 10, I'm going to type total. And I want to make sure that this is the same sort of format. So I believe, just as a quick and easy, I'm going to give this a 16 point. Bold it. There. Okay. Then I want to run a formula down along these columns here to calculate the actual total of each person in in the school, 2015, 2016, 2017. Okay, so I have this highlighted. There's a couple different ways you can do it. And I'm going to come over to my functions here and make sure my sum function is selected. And I'm just going to hit my sum function. It's going to select that area and hit enter. No, maybe not. Maybe it's not going to work that way. Wait, let me do it this way. I'm going to click on cell B10, sum, highlight what I'm going to add, enter, and then I'm going to take and copy this formula over by putting my cursor here in this lower right corner and dragging it over to the side. Okay, so this should have summed this correctly. Yes, if I highlight this in this lower right corner, I could see that the sum is 21300. That's a good way to check. Okay, then format total row with a single top bottom line in a green color fill. This gets a little funny in Google Sheets, but I'm going to select this. So once again, I'm selecting my total row, even selecting this blank average line, and I'm going to come into this borders feature. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to format that top border. So our top border, I believe, is just a single top border. But then my bottom border, which I'm going to select bottom, is going to be a double line. So I have my bottom selected, and then I'm going to go to the style and make it double. Okay? So there you go. And then we're going to take and color fill this green. Any shade of green you want there. Okay. Shazam. Okay? So that's format total row, format the numbers. Okay, now we're going to format our numbers. So right now, oops, let me put this back in my screen. Okay, I'm going to select all the areas where the numbers are, even where the average is, might as well, because we're going to calculate an average in there and have it all be the same format. And we wanted a comma format, so I am going to go over here, and there's no comma one in here. I guess you could use the number format. It's just a little different in Google Sheets because it has a comma in it. So I'm going to click that, and then I'm going to reduce my decimals so they're just whole numbers. There you go. Reduce decimals, whole numbers. Okay. Then I'm going to take and calculate my average on the side. So with this selected, I'm going to go to average, click and drag what I want to average, hit enter. Then, as easy as pie here, I'm going to drag this formula down, and even down to the green, so that we can see the average of the totals, which is about 20,000. That makes sense. I'm going to actually I'm going to copy this formatting in here. So I'll show you that. let's see, this is the Format Painter. So I'm going to hit, let's see if I can remember how to do this, copy, and then I'm going to hit my Format Painter, and then just click this, and that recopies the format in there. Bravo. All right, so we have it all highlighted, and we have it all formatted. It looks good. Now I'm going to actually do some graphing, okay? So the first graph we're going to do is a pie chart graph, and we're going to create a pie chart that shows college majors by average, okay? And we're going to place it in its own sheet. So here's our majors, and here's our averages. So what we need to do, if you guys remember correctly, is we're going to select our majors, hold the control key down, and select our averages. Holding that control key down, when you do that, allows you to select cells that aren't right next to each other. Then I'm going to come into Insert, Chart, and I'm going to change this to a pie chart. This actually looks pretty cool. Okay? And if you come over here with these three little buttons, you could move chart to own sheet. So we're going to move it to its own sheet, and we're going to rename it down here pie chart. Okay. All right, pie chart, and then now this is where I'm a little, okay, here's our heading. Now we have to redo our heading here. It says provide a descriptive title for the chart. I'm going to type, actually you can type in here over to the side. Majors, you can say average college majors, Holt University, average college majors. Okay, and I know that's off to the side over there. You can actually take and center that. You can actually take and format it if you want it to be nicer looking, what have you. Actually, this is all new features in Google Sheets. They've really upped their game with the graphing. And I think that looks good. It has your percentages. It has the different, it shows you what you need. It has your percentages and it has your different majors. Okay, so that's our pie chart. Raw data, okay, going back to the raw data down below. Now we have to do a column chart. And we're doing a column chart that shows the number of individual majors by year. Okay, and place it under the raw data. Individual majors by year. So we basically need all of this information, not the averages though. So I'm going to start again with this blank cell. Click and drag all of this information. I have our years, college major, and then all the data below. And then I'm going to go to Insert Chart. And it actually defaults to a stack chart is what we need to do. So that looks good. Here's our key. Each color represents a year. Then we have on our x-axis here all of our majors. Beautiful. The only thing that looks goofy is our heading. So we're going to change that again. So I'm going to make sure that's clicked on. I clicked on that. It pulls up this chart on the side, and I'm going to reformat the title of the chart. And so individual majors by year. So I'm just going to say Hort majors by year. Once again, I'm going to center it. If I want the format, you know, you could change the way it looks on there. That looks nice. I'm going to take this. Now, I think I could, yeah, pull it down here. It's supposed to be underneath the original. Okay. All right. So, it says change the background of the graph with a light color. That's okay. You don't have to do that. It's unnecessary. Okay. All right. And then the final thing is analyze.